I originally visited Belgravia Art Park with my brother after I took him to get a haircut. I had planned to get footage of me walking around the art display. I wandered around the gallery, thinking about how to connect this to my chosen author, Ernest Miller Hemingway. I was struggling to find what to write and how to relate it to my project. I had an idea to compare art galleries to the way Hemingway talks about bullfighting. He states that the best bullfighting is in Madrid. To me, the best place with art in the world is the Louvre, but other galleries, like the park at Belgravia, are very interesting and beautiful. Then, when I got home, I was looking at the assignment description and noticed a very important oversight I had. I didn't make something of my own while I was there. This made me panic. I'd never been very good at creating stuff and started to fret figuring out what type of creative work to do. This intrigued me and I decided to write a poem. I approached the creative process like Hemingway did to the best of my abilities. I did this to connect with my final project more. I used pencil and paper like he did, and I crossed out what I didn't like before finally putting my final edit in typing. The piece demonstrated so much contrast, but it was about what stayed the same. The piece appeared to be so random, yet it was made from structure. The piece tells us of the uniqueness of Alberta's nature, yet it tells us how much elsewhere is the same. And and after all, the piece was great. Its contradictions are what endeared it to me. The poems by Hemingway weren't very well known, and I didn't know about them before this. They were not famous and not talked about when I looked into the research of his works and didn't come up when I was looking for works to base my research around. There were a couple poems that I found very interesting, the first being The Age Demanded, which I based my poem off of, and poems like The Soul of Spain with McCalman and Bird, the publishers, and Champs d'Honneur, poems where he mocks and pokes flaws in masculinity. The same masculinity he glorifies and praises in his books and his more popular works. To me, this shows that he discovered when he put up this character of masculinity in his works, his creative works were a success, a clear change in personality between the poet and the author. His bravado felt gone, and a more true voice, one not focused with his new appearance, came through. Reflecting on my creative work, I tend to do a similar thing where the voice I use isn't the one that is completely true to myself, but rather a persona. I believe I developed my writing persona after seeing what was successful for me in my schooling career. This positive reinforcement that I received from writing poems this way is different from the way I was successful writing essays. I never would have reflected upon this and probably would have never noticed the difference if I hadn't looked into Hemingway's poems.